So in this video, we're going to talk about your transaction desk, also known as Instanet. And when it comes to your paperwork, your forms, anything that you want to get e-signed, you want to go to your MLS Stratus and Transaction Desk. So first, we're going to go to ljagent.com, Realtor Tools. Once we're in there, we're going to click on MLS Stratus. You log in using your MLS login there. And you want to click on Info Center. Okay. Once you're in there, where it says One Key MLS Links, you can look for Instanet. It will take you to that page. Or once you're logged into Stratus, you can go back to ljagent.com and click on Transaction Desk. And it will take you to the same exact page there. Okay. So when you have a brand new client, you want to create one transaction in your transaction desk. So we all know that one particular client might have multiple offers, right? Maybe your offer doesn't get accepted and maybe the client wants to back out and wants to look for another one. It's perfectly fine. You want to have one transaction per client. In that you can have multiple documents. Okay, so we want to show you how we do that. So click on create transaction. You want to give a name for this file. So typically we want to put in your client's name, what type of client that is, and then your name. So let's say, since we're still talking about Bob Smith, so I'm going to put Bob Smith. He's a buyer, and then put in your name. Okay. And this template is super important that you use these templates because it will give you all the forms that you need for this transaction. So if you're representing the buyer, I will select template B for buyer buying template. And where it says import data, this is optional, so I will leave it alone. Where it says add me as, are you the selling agent, which is the buyer's agent? If you're the buyer's agent, click on selling agent. And where it says use wizard, you can just uncheck that. Okay, so we have the file name, we have the template, and we're going to click on create. Okay, now this is part of when you open up your file for this client here, it's asking you to fill out all this information. You do not have to fill this out. Again, you do not have to fill any of that out. What you do have to pay attention to is your contacts, your forms, signings, and documents. Okay, so first I want to tell this transaction desk who my buyer is. Since we're going to fill out the forms and since we're going to send those forms for e-signatures, we want to make sure that we add them in contacts. So once I'm under contacts, I'm clicking on add. And then I'm selecting where it says create new transaction contact, saying what type of person this is. He is a buyer. We need his first name. His first name is Bob. His last name, Smith. And his email, bobsmith@gmail.com. Okay. He's asking for his legal name. We already know it's Bob Smith. We're leaving everything else blank. Okay. And we're going to click on save. So now under contacts, you can see yourself there and you can see Bob Smith as a buyer. Let's say if his wife was also on this file and she needs to e-sign, and let's say her name is Lisa, so we can click on type buyer. It is Lisa Smith. Her email is lisasmith@gmail.com, and I'm going to click on add. Okay, so if you have multiple buyers, you can add them. You can see Bob here, you can see Lisa there under contacts. Once we have added them, now we're going to click on forms. Okay, this video is super important because it comes with all the new changes that we have effective August of this year. So first we have your buyers, exclusive buyers representation agreement, we have your agency disclosure, we have your anti-discrimination form, and we have your memo to offer. This is your offer sheet. Okay. So first, we want to click on buyer's representation agreement, and we're going to show you how we're going to fill that out. Okay. Once I click on it, I am telling them this is a agreement. That means you cannot work with any other agent for the time that we choose to agree on, right? So first, we're telling them that we are exclusive broker for them. Under broker fee, this is where you have to disclose how much you're going to charge them. In this example, you can put in any amount that you guys agree on. There could be 1%, 1.5%, 2%. Remember, nothing is set by law, right? This is all negotiable. Maybe you can ask for anything. Maybe the client will say something else, but whatever percentage that you guys agree on, put in that in there. If you're going to charge them a flat fee, then you don't put that in there, and you can say, hey, we're going to charge you a flat fee of X amount. Okay? Everything is negotiable, so you can put that in there. Okay? So let's say we agree on X percentage, we put that in there. Now we're giving them a full breakdown. Hey, we can ask sellers to make this payment through the offer, right? Maybe your client wants to put in a $500,000 offer, and we can ask for this X percent to come back in the offer. You have to explain that to your client. Okay. Now this is your length of agreement. So let's say the agreement started today, and maybe we want to do this for 3 months, and we do that there. Okay. What type of property are they looking for? Residential or uh, residential income. The difference here is that this is going to be an investment property, and this is for them to live in. Okay. Or are they looking for vacant land? Are looking for condo, co-op, or other? Majority of our clients, we see them as residential. Okay. Then all this information you already asked them in your questionnaire. So majority of this information you already have. So for the area, you want to put it as vague as possible to make sure that you're protected. So if they're looking for in Nassau County, you would put that in there, Nassau County. Okay? Or if they're looking in Queens County, you can say or in Queens County, right? How many bedrooms are they looking for? 3 beds. How many bathrooms? 2 baths. What is the price range? They said around 450 to 550. Okay? Financing terms, is it going to be all cash? Is it going to be a mortgage? You can put 30-year mortgage. Okay. Possession, when they do want the possession, most of them want the possession right away, unless it's an investor and it's going to be post possession. Otherwise, you can just leave it blank for now. Okay. Everything else is just paragraph after paragraph you guys can read. I'm just going to go through the things that you have to fill out. Okay. So if they're gonna, this is number 11, is gonna be a question purchasing the property for buyer's use as a principal residence and not for investor, right? Not as an investment. Or if it is an investment, then you select the second one. Okay. Now we have filled out this form and we want the buyer to sign right here. I want Bob to sign right here, and I want Lisa to sign right here. Okay. Once we have filled out this form, we want to click on this pen icon called Send to New Authentic Sign. Okay. Once you have done that, that means you cannot make any edits. So the best thing to do is just review everything from top to bottom and make sure it is filled out. Okay. Broker fee is filled out. Your length of agreement is filled out. Your property information is filled out. And then on the last page, you want to have them sign it here. So once I'm ready, I'm going to click on send to new authentic sign. And it typically takes about 30 seconds or so. And once you are ready, you will see it on this page on the left side. This is the form that you filled out. You cannot make any edits right now, right? You can add, obviously, make some markups, but you should have already filled it out, and you would just want them to e-sign on this side here. On the right, some of you guys will see this where it says signing tools. Some of them will be just like that. It's perfectly fine. In order to access that, you have all this right panel here. If I click on tools, if I click on signers, you can add all of them there. Okay. So first I want Bob to sign. Okay. So where it says signing tools, you want to X that out and click on signers. So where it says add participants, you want to click on that and then add from transaction. Some of you guys start already added them and then you try to add a new contact. You do not want to do that. You want to click on add from transaction because you already gave them that information. So click on add from transaction. I want to select Bob and I want to click on select. Okay. Automatically you see Bob's signatures is there and the date. But Bob's signature is showing under telephone field and not under signature. So I can drag this around. So I can click on it, hold it, and drag it up where it's supposed to be for signatures. Okay. I also want Lisa to sign here. So I can click on same thing, signers, add participant, add from transaction, click on Lisa Smith, and then select. Okay. Now I see Lisa's signature here. I see the date here. Okay. Now in the first stage, we filled out the form. Second stage, we selected where the borrower is supposed to sign. And now we want to send it for e-signature. So now I want to click on next. And then I want to, where it says finalize signing setup, I want to click on send. Okay. Now the system already sent them an email saying that, hey, Bob Smith, you have a form to e-sign, and they will see exactly what you see here. Okay, the status, we're under signing now automatically, and we're telling you the status of this, that the form has been sent. Once they sign it, it will say completed, and then you can click on their file name here, and you can click on, it's going to say view signed documents. Okay, you can download that form, and then you can put it for your storage, or you can send it to the listing agent when it's necessary. Okay. So anytime you want to come back to this form, right, you are in the forms here, you click on it, you can view everything that you typed it in there. Okay, everything's still there. So if I go back to the forms here, if I go back to the transaction, and if I go to signing, I still see the status here. I use the invalid email, that's why you're seeing this tag here, but otherwise you will see it normal. It says send, and it will say completed once it's done. Okay. Then if you have additional documents, it could be a writer, it could be any other page that you're not filling out, you're just sending for e-signature, you can do the same thing. You can add that any document, any PDF that you have. Okay, let's say this one here. And then I can click on this and have them e-sign any way they want. Okay, but that's only secondary if you need additional document that's e-sign. But for our brokerage, any forms that we need e-signatures for, everything is already set up under forms here. Okay. So in the separate videos, I'm going to show you how we're going to fill out the offer sheet. But for now, just want to make sure that you guys know how to fill out your buyer's representation agreement. Second, we have your agency disclosure for buyer and seller. So we want to click on agency disclosure. And now we want to go to the form. It should be already filled out with your name and your company name. You're representing the buyer and you're the buyer's agent. And where it says I'm putting in the client's name, Bob Smith, and he's a buyer, right? So now we want him to sign right here. So remember the steps. Once we are ready, we want to click on this pen icon. We would do the same thing for Lisa as well on the same form, but just because of the time, I just want to do one of them. So I want him to sign right here. So what were the steps? I want to click on signers, add participants, add from transaction, select Bob, select. Now I see it here. If I need to drag it, I can drag it anywhere. The date, I can bring it down. And I'm ready for him to e-sign. So I want to click on next and send this email. Okay. So now we have sent the agency disclosure, and the last form that we have to send is your anti-discrimination form. Same exact concept. I click on that, and now I can see that this is an anti-discrimination form. Okay, so now everything's already filled out here. All I want is Bob and Lisa to sign right here. So I want to click on the pen icon. Okay, I want to scroll to the page, click on add participant, add from transaction, click on Bob, click on Lisa. I can select both of them at the same time. So I'm giving you different examples. You can do multiple things at the same time. Okay, if you have to drag it, you can by holding it. Once we're ready, click on next and send. Okay, it will always bring you back to the signing page to show you the status. So we already sent them exclusive buyers representation agreement. We sent them your agency disclosure, and we sent them your anti-discrimination form. Okay, in the next video, I'm going to show you how we fill out the offer sheet going under forms there. Okay, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me so we can help you out.